I'm Tracy with MeatRx. We're here today with another success story interview. I have my friend David here, and he's going to tell us about his journey. Hi, David.
How are you, Tracy?
I'm doing great. Welcome to the show, and thank you for coming. I wanted to begin by asking, what was life like before you came to Carnivore, your health conditions, and what kind of foods did you eat?
My health conditions started off with an eye problem, uveitis, and I actually almost lost the sight in my left eye. My diet was, I guess you'd call it your standard American diet. Lots of sugar, lots of refined flours, I mean, everything you shouldn't eat. And so when my problem first started, I really didn't know anything about carnivore or anything about really anything. So I kind of started to do my own research, and that's how I actually came to the carnivore diet.
Awesome. Okay, so how did you begin implementing it? Did you you saw success stories, and I know
I
you.
did. I've seen success stories. Dr. ShawnBaker, when you do research on the internet now, ShawnBaker, there's so many people that come up. And so that's what gave me the idea to try carnivore. When I tried it, when I started it, I went cold turkey. I drank water and ate nothing but meat and fat. My ratio is like 2 to 1. And that's all I did. And it's actually, to this day, I will eat the occasional vegetables, but never very much. I'm almost, carnivore 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And
Awesome.
I started noticing, benefits right away.
Oh, okay, awesome. So you didn't have any transitional issues at all?
No, I really didn't. I guess in the first couple of days, I had the cravings, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but I just persevered through it. And it started helping me so quickly that that I knew it was working. The pain in my right wrist with the rheumatoid arthritis was so severe that I couldn't even sleep at night. I mean, it was that bad. And this was before I was actually diagnosed, because up here, I live in Canada, so your wait time to get in to see a doctor is quite long sometimes. So it took probably 3 months for them to get the blood work back and actually confirm that I had rheumatoid arthritis. So by the time I actually got the confirmation, I was doing so well that I refused. They wanted to put me on all this medication, and I refused it all. I've never taken anything for it. And like I told my doctor, within a week, my wrist was back to 98%. And the inflammation, like in my knees, my shoulders, all of those places, it was literally gone. I try to explain it to people like this. It would be impossible probably really to understand unless you could feel what I felt. I know there's lots of people that's probably had it worse than I did, but it was extremely painful. And so when that pain starts to go away, it's a big incentive to keep doing what you're doing. And then as time goes on, the weight dropped off, and I'm 57 years old. I've never felt better.
Wow, that's incredible. So how much weight did you lose?
I've lost to date about 32 pounds.
Wow, that's really good. That's really good.
Yes, and my blood pressure was never high. It was high normal. So my blood pressure now is 120/70, which is, for my age, is ideal. But it's a general feeling, a feeling of good health.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has definitely worked for us. Recently, my wife and I both caught COVID, and it was nothing more than really, for us, like a mild cold. And I attribute that to our immune system, because my wife is doing carnivore as well. And our immune system was strong. That's all we can think of. And so, it has really benefited us.
Wow, that's so incredible. So has your wife also seen many benefits?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. She was for many years on omeprazole, which is, it's for your stomach. and she's totally off of all of that. She has also she's dropped more weight than I have. She's dropped over 30 pounds.
Mm.
And so, no, there is no question. It definitely has helped us. I would never go back.
Yes, that's awesome. And to have your wife with you doing it too is really helpful. I know
It is really helpful, and we both take turns cooking. We're lucky. We have access to lots of meat because I'm a hunter, and the place where we live, there's lots of wild game. So I would say our diet is probably 90% wild game and 10% beef and pork.
Okay, cool. So what does a typical day look like for you? Do you have like 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day, or do you eat 3 meals a day?
We very, very seldom eat 3 meals a day. For us, it's usually one. There are days, like if we have the kids over or something, we might have a brunch and then a dinner later. But the vast majority of the time, it's 1 meal a day.
Cool. So do you exercise besides your hunting?
I do. I lift weights a little bit. I just started because I know that'll help. But we live an extremely active lifestyle to begin with. So finding the time to work out is not easy for us. Like, I know for a lot of people, it's probably hard to understand this, but we are in the bush. We call it in the bush. We are, remote. There's no internet. There's no nothing. We're miles away from any civilization most of the year. So, it's a little different lifestyle probably than a lot of people. But so we're quite active anyway, I guess, to answer that question.
Okay, awesome. So do you think that you don't think you'd ever change your diet again? Do you think you'd always stick to carnivore? And what would you suggest if someone's thinking about this way of eating, and what would you tell them?
I would tell them not to worry about it. You'll see a lot of stuff on online and stuff where they say it's bad for you and stuff. I would say you just have to do it for yourself, because you couldn't feel as good as I feel if it was unhealthy for you. What I plan to do is in about a year, I'm going to get my blood work done again and see where my inflammation count is. I know just from how I feel that it's low. Like, anybody that's had RA, they will understand what I'm talking about. But your joints feel hot, they're painful, and that's the inflammation. And so when that is gone, that your inflammation is down. But it will be kind of nice to get blood work done again in about a year, and just to see where it's at. But I know it will be lower. No, to answer your question, I would never go back.
Never go back. Yeah. So is there anything that surprised you about your health conditions that you didn't think would change?
Yes. And I think it would probably, if I had to pick one thing, I would think it would be the mental clarity. And you have more energy, like a lot more energy, I've noticed. And my wife has actually noticed the exact same thing. And so when you have more energy, it makes life easier, especially, you get to be our age and you're getting older, and it's nice to have that energy.
Yes, I agree. So I really appreciate you sharing your story, David. So have you been on the MeatRx site very much?
Yes, I have been on the MeatRx. Actually, got onto that early on, when I was looking into rheumatoid arthritis. And so MeatRx, the testimonies on there were helpful, because there were so many that it gave me confidence that there was something to this, and it wasn't just a fad. There's so many fad diets out there. There was something real. And I mean, the fact that ShawnBaker is a doctor as well, the orthopedic surgeon, that gave credibility as well. So yeah, I've been on there, and it's really helped for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David, for sharing, because this is what really helps people. Like you said, when you read the stories, these interviews also help people in the same way. And it's just wonderful to share. And I appreciate you coming to share your story with us.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity, Tracy. Thank you very much. And thank you guys for what you're doing.
Thank you. We'll see you around the community, and have a great weekend.
You too. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.